I have to turn up our game. I forgot, man. We'll do it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. We'll do it live. I want somebody to take, what he said during that whole freak out and turn it into like a choral piece.
A what?
Choir.
Choral piece?
Choral. That's what choir music is called. Choral music.
No, that's underwater growths. Music. Turn down the gain. Where's my snare at? Turn my snare up. This is really loud.
I know. I haven't changed anything. That's strange.
What's up, Travis? We got Chimichanga Superstar.
Chimmy.
Who's Chimichanga? I feel like we know that mo-effer. Travis Dunn.
Sounds familiar, but
Chimichangas.
it's been quite a while since I've heard that title.
Can't remember everybody's.
Do you see my shirt, by the way?
Which one? It's the Zeppelin one with the
Star Wars, though.
Yeah, it's the plate saucer ship.
The destroyer of the stars.
We got the church key ready up in this.
Maybe we should kick things off with the good old Salacious B. Crumb motherfucking laugh.
Salacious.
That was pretty
We're
good.
going to church. Headed to church. Darth Vader, the Lord and Savior.
Did you listen to the very end of the episode last week of the shit that we recorded at the beginning?
No, but I catch it live on Facebook because it's at the beginning on Facebook.
I've been saying that on repeat since last week.
What?
Because I kept saying faces in my butt, faces in my butt,
Faces
faces in my butt. And you're just like, having them cheeks.
Having them
I
cheeks.
came home.
Let's go.
I came home and I was just saying it over and over again. And Mrs. Commander's like, what are you saying? It
Having
doesn't
them
make
cheeks.
any sense. She didn't get it until I finally explained it like Friday.
Having them cheeks.
Having them cheeks.
Salacious butts.
Faces in my butt.
Hello.
Butts. Look at the butts. I want the butts.
Hello there.
Found someone you have, I would say.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Rogues Watching Podcast in the building. We're in your Ethernet cables.
Good day.
We're in your beer. We're in your hops
We're in some of it
for your health.
for your fathers. Happy,
Happy
Father's Day.
Day to Anakin.
To Anakin. He's
Worst
probably one of the
dad
worst
in the
worst
galaxy.
fathers of all time. Yeah.
Speaking of Anakin, we're going to talk a little bit about some Vader theorizations later.
Yep.
Got a couple things. E3 happened. We didn't watch it. Battlefront 2 is an update. We don't play it. And Mopar has something else he wants to go over later. Something about characters?
Yeah, the most relatable characters. I went on a rant during a drive of mine. I got stuck in traffic, so I started yelling at the patrons. So if you guys don't know, we have a Patreon, and we did some extra recordings for them. So
Yes.
they got a behind the scenes of all of it. But during my rant, I kind of came up with my most relatable characters in the trilogies. So I'm going to bounce that off Commander and see what happens a little bit later in the episode. But as we do every episode, we're going to be doing our beer review. Extra special today, we're going to be doing a giveaway
Yes.
for our $10 tier patrons.
Yes, you fucking savages. You get
And-
free shit.
And I mentioned live on Instagram that we're going to be giving away 3 Pilsner Klutz. Woo! Pilsner Klutz beer glasses. So the next 3 patrons. This one,
Sounds
the one
pretty
that
dope.
Good day.
Hello, welcome back.
So the next 3 patrons, regardless of the tier, we'll send you a brand new Pilsner Urquell beer glass.
Yeah.
But like I said, we're
Forged by
the
dwarves.
winner of the giveaway is gonna get a beer glass and
And
a podcast hat. So you can see here if you guys are live with us. I look like a drunken trucker.
You look like Riley.
I look like Mopar.
Riley Drangus.
From Alabama.
And as well, when I do send you whatever you win, my glasses are really dirty. You'll get like maybe a magnet, some stickers, some pins.
Not ours, just a regular magnet.
Yeah, just a magnet. They have them laying around.
Just
one of those pizza ones where it says like, "Call us, order us pizza."
A local pizza place magnet and a menu.
Yeah.
So if you guys are
For Romeo, so you can get some coupons,
driving
We
through,
urge everyone to try Romeo's.
pick up a za.
But yeah, you'll get some goodness. And maybe every once in a while, I think we did this after celebration, even to our Patreons who aren't on the $10 tier, we just send out some free shit. Because we got a bunch of giveaways and free goodies from celebration. So if you want to join, we might send you something in the mail. But then we have your address, so we also might show up at your house and beat you up.
Who's gonna do that?
Lando Calrissian.
I'm not beating anybody up.
I was just thinking of the end of Jay and Silent Bob.
And all you motherfucks are next.
That's all I was thinking of. So, do you want a drink?
You want to do that or the? Yeah, let's pour this shit here first.
I got it. So we're actually doing a throwback here. Good old Great Lakes Burning River. This is a solid. This is not their flagship beer, but it's pretty dang close. I'd say they're most known for their Christmas ale, and then their main beer, I think, I'd probably say the Dortmunder Gold is like their main one.
I always get them and whoever brews Old Leg Humper.
Oh, that's Thirsty Dog.
Thirsty Dog?
I think that's the brewer that left Great Lakes and started his own thing or got hired by Thirsty Dog.
Oh, okay.
And then redid the Christmas ale recipe for the Thirsty Dog dogs. Well, what was that? What's going on? My computer's self-destructing. My fragile constitution can't hardly take it.
My empathy is much lower than yours.
So where I was going with this was the Burning River. It's a pale ale from Great Lakes. And why I said it's a throwback is that back in the early days when we were not versed in craft beer whatsoever, this is one of the only craft beers that I used to have a lot. I know Tommy Boy used to frequent the Burning River as well. Back in the day, we thought this was way too bitter. We could barely handle it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now we're fucking around with like 100 IBU nonsense.
100 IBUs. This is bare minimum that I drink. If it's on it, I don't even fuck with it.
Yeah.
So cheers. Cheers, everybody.
Did you drink the ringing bell?
Did we bang the drinking ding? God, that's got a good, like, sharp... It's a good, like, ale up front.
I haven't had this in a long time.
This is really well-rounded.
Yeah, I always remember loving it. I was curious when you showed up with this, if I was going to think it was, like, way worse or way better than I used to back in the day. Now that I said back in the day a lot. I apologize.
Like I said.
But now that our buds are a little more...
Versed.
They have tenure now, I think. I don't know. Let me take another sip when I'm not trying to laugh.
What are your thoughts on peppermint?
In what form?
I hate it. I hate peppermint in all forms outside of gum.
Interesting.
I don't want it in my drinks. I don't want it in my peppermint sticks. I don't want it anywhere.
What would you put in your peppermint sticks if it couldn't be peppermint?
Cinnamon.
How about just regular mint? You like regular mint?
Yeah. Spearmint is my shit.
Like, how about the double mint, the gum?
Double mint. I would rub that shit in places that no one's ever gone. Yeah, nice. Double mint. That's my shit. I'm not a gum chewer, avid gum chewer. But if I do buy like a pack, it's gone within like 2 days because I'm constant and then I'm done with it. Like I get my fix, I guess.
I usually rock with the Altoids.
Yeah, it's good for you.
They're way sharper. They're really strong. So
yeah, Altoids is definitely a good brand.
Yes.
So what are your thoughts on the Burning River here? So if you guys aren't familiar, this is a Cleveland brewed beer, Great Lakes Brewing Company. It is probably the most well-known out of Cleveland. There's been many that have popped up since Great Lakes has got their start because they were kind of one of their originals up that way.
The early mofos. Might even say on the can or the bottle. 88.
1988.
As old as us.
Just as good as us, but not as great.
Not as funny. Yeah.
Quite a bit funnier.
I would prefer it to be colder, but I still like it quite a bit.
Yeah, I think, and I'm not going to hold that against the beer.
I'll hold it against you, though.
Well, like leaning something up against me?
We do need a mini fridge in here, I think. That would be helpful.
That'd be a great gift.
Wife?
I can't. My mind exploded when she was just like, why did you tell him that we're getting that?
Oh, my God.
And I was like, no, you just told me. You just...
There's no logic. It's Hobbit logic.
There was no logic. All right, we're getting back to this beer.
All right.
So the Burning River, the reason it's called Burning River is because I think it's the Cuyahoga River that feeds into Lake Erie. Actually caught fire in like the 50s, I want to say.
Yeah, it was polluted as shit.
And that's what like Cleveland was known for a long time. But yeah, so they kind of like made fun of themselves and their history. So they called the beer Burning River. It's a regular pale ale. I think it's delicious. I think it's a lot more malty up front than most of the pale ales that I usually drink, because a lot of them are like bitter up front.
Yeah.
This is much more malty, more ale-y than pale. So I am truly enjoying this. What are your overall thoughts?
That caramel malty flavor that I have in an IPA that I don't like, that I talk about almost every episode, it's balanced in this. It's not as strong. It's good. It's there and I can taste it, but it's not throwing off the rest of the flavor profile of the beer, which is good.
I do think if this was a bit colder, the paleness would come out a little more. But since it's kind of calmed down a little bit, it's the more malty caramel. But
it's solid, and because it's not an India Pale, it's not as bitter, so it's almost as much of a drinking beer, I would say.
Yeah,
you can have multiples of these.
It's kind of like the Sierra Nevada. That was always like just a solid ass beer.
Exactly,
and it has different flavors than a normal beer, but it's definitely much more drinkable.
Always delicious too.
So what are you pushing? Because I'm
thinking a 2. Solid. Sounds great.
Okay. I was gonna try a 3, but it's not wowing me, so I'll come back down. Yeah,
you must
I'll
respect
agree.
the system, Opa.
There's a 2 for a reason, and today we found out why. All right, so the Burning River Pale Ale Great Lakes. What was the ABV? Did you read it off here?
I didn't.
There is no alcohol in this.
Yeah, there is.
It's up top here. Here we go. 6%.
Why are you wearing glasses inside? I
didn't
even realize that until just now.
It was bright outside. You didn't let me in. I didn't know the 17-digit.
I was watching Star Wars Explained videos. Leave me alone.
6% alcohol by volume. 45 IBUs for the experienced drinker of the beers. Ooh. So, but that's kind of a low, like an average maybe, average low.
Huh. I was just looking at the chat. Travis Dunn, hi. Just a little podcast, hi. Yes, that beer does look freak great. This beer is freak great. It's tasty. It's got good color and good body and everything.
Yeah, look at my hand like behind it. Oh my god. Whoa, it's like I'm shaking hands with myself.
Dude, it's crazy.
It's like science, but I'm high as well. Okay. Yeah, I strongly agree. Strong 2.
2.
I think if it was colder, I would be pushing a 3 though.
2 out of 3, and for
drinkability,
delay, our rating system is 0 to 3.
I had to throw the word in there before we ended the beer.
Drinkability.
Drinkability.
Yeah, if drinkability comes out of our mouths, it's at least a 2. So it's out of 3. 3 stars the best. 2 is great. 1 is worth trying in your lifetime, and 0 is like don't even why?
Don't.
Yes.
Simply don't.
So what have you been up to the past week?
Haven't been really gaming.
I know I've been trying to get back in, but
I haven't been doing really shit, to be honest. I downloaded, I had an Audible credit, so I got the first book, Game of Thrones.
Oh, nice.
For 1 credit.
Good choice.
Yeah, but I'm slowly getting through it.
I'm up there.
No, to be honest, I barely even started it. I'm still
Wait a second.
I'm still on the first scene where it's like random 3 people in the woods and they're north of the wall.
Yeah.
And they found those dead people.
Yep.
And they walk away, and then one of the guys was like, "Oh, I saw these dead people," and they walk back and they're gone.
Yeah.
I'm still in that scene, so I literally haven't even scratched the surface. So, but I thought for a credit, 1 single credit, those are like $35 books.
Dude,
and
that's why I love Audible, because even some months I'll forget about it, and then I'll come back and I got like 5 credits. It's like, okay, here's 5 free books right now. Yeah. I mean, I paid for the subscription, but 1 book a month for free is pretty great. So.
Yeah. That's like a 33-hour audio book, though. I'm like, I'm not gonna get through this.
I know.
Ever.
I need to go back and read those once I have kind of settled down from the show. Which, by the way, our last episode, which was a little bonus, we talked about the ending and the last season and the whole wrap up of Game of Thrones. So check that out.
Was that patrons only?
That one wasn't. No.
Oh, okay.
Your solo rants and my solo rants are going to be patrons only.
But they weren't limited to solo. Chewbacca was in them too.
I see.
Says
I see. That's what we're doing tonight.
C says the drunk man.
But go back and listen to us complain about Thrones. But yeah, I love the books. I'm a big fan. So I recommend it. Give it some time.
I will admit, I watched some Arrested Development. Still no. But there was a couple small things that I was like,
That's so funny.
That's kind of funny. Job accidentally bought this boat from this like saleswoman.
Starlight, yeah.
But the name of the boat was the Sea Ward. But he was just like, it's a C word.
Right.
So he bought the cunt.
Yeah, and then later on in the episode, their mom is standing there talking, and Michael's like, "Get rid of the C word." And she's like, "I'll leave when I'm good and ready."
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna dog it. If people
Also,
enjoy it,
Starla is a business model for the boat, and Michael needs Job to turn in a business model.
Yeah.
So many good puns in that fucking show.
Yeah, business model.
The boat is solid as a rock.
I don't get that one.
As a rock, Iraq. Also pronounced Iraq.
But why would anything like I don't get that
Because the slogan
pun.
of the boat is solid as a rock.
Right.
And their dad is building homes in Iraq. That's what he's on trial for.
Oh,
So the motto of the
okay.
boat that Joe buys is solid as a rock. They have this whole fucking theme song.
Gotcha. That's why he was in jail, because he was building stuff in Iraq.
Well, yeah, for wherever you are in the season.
Okay.
It's not logical, so it changes.
Because I knew that was a pun, but I just didn't get the pun.
Yeah.
I was like, clearly they're focusing on it too much.
Well, because it came out in 2003. The
Yeah,
show
right.
that was happening right then. So,
Yeah.
anyways.
Gotcha. Still only I think 2 or 3 episodes into Chernobyl. You said you finished it.
Yeah, it was 5 episodes, so it was a mini series. It wasn't like an ongoing, obviously, because like the event ends.
So it just gets more and more boring because the event's already started at the beginning.
You know, that's what you would think, but
No,
it got
it
more and
gets-
more intense. It's
oh
really
yeah,
good.
it gets pretty crazy because I like they figured out the core is showing. It's the big issue. They bring in that guy. He starts like throwing sand at it, and it's like helping. And then that woman comes in. She's like, "Look, these water tanks under him are full, and it's just gonna blow the other cores into other cities, and we're all gonna fucking die." And I'm like,
Yeah.
"This is crazy."
It keeps unfolding.
Yeah.
I obviously can't say anything because you haven't finished it, but like every time they think, all right, it's just this, we need to fix that. There's something else.
Yeah.
Also, that lead engineer that was running the reactor room that night is such a dick.
Yeah.
Like every time he opened his mouth, I couldn't believe it. Such an asshole.
Yeah, that was like the whole first episode. I was like, why did you even hire all these people if you're not going to listen to not a single fucking one?
I think that's
the core's showing. No, it's not. We'll walk over there and look at it. That's not the core.
Yeah.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, they didn't think he's in control. He studied this. He's done it before. He's like, I know what's happening. There can't be a problem because we did it right. That was the whole issue. Is like everybody's, I wouldn't say brainwashed per se, but like they think because they're in charge of the reactor, everything's fine.
They just got blinders on. Like that can't
Exactly,
happen.
yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
like, there's graphite on the ground. Fucking impossible. That's
Yeah.
not it. That's another black rock. I put that there yesterday.
Did you ever read Outliers by Malcolm Gladwell?
No.
All right, never mind.
Malcolm who? What?
Malcolm Gladwell. He's an author. He writes books.
Gladwell.
He's glad to be well. I won't go into it then if you haven't read it, so never mind.
Sad ill.
Chernobyl is solid, very dramatic, very tense.
It's a very nice like historical drama.
Yeah, it's
Like,
nice that it's not like documentary, but it's also very heavily based on what actually happened. So
Cool.
HBO's killing it, man. Thrones is over. People are freaking out a little bit, but all their shows are great.
I think once I get through Chernobyl though, I'm turning it off.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff on my list of things I want to watch that all happen to be HBO stuff.
What was the new Eastbound and Down dude?
Yeah, there's a show.
What's his
well,
name?
I don't know.
Michael Douglas?
Kenny Powers, but I can't remember the actor's name.
Yeah.
There's a show with him and John Goodman and somebody else where they're all televangelists.
Danny McBride.
Is that the one you're
Jesus.
thinking of?
I think so. There's a lot of big names in it.
And then there's another one on that, also on HBO, Vice Presidents.
Yeah, The Righteous Gemstones was the one that I saw. It's got a lot of big names. So let's see, cast. So Danny McBride.
Oh, yeah.
Adam Devine.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They're televangelists, and they're all a bunch of savages.
John Goodman's in it.
It looks so funny.
Yeah, there's a lot of big names in it, and it looked really really funny. So
It looked funny.
much better than this.
Um,
What accent was that? Much better than this. Was that Gru from The Indispendables or what?
indispensable.
Indecisive. What's the
The
one word?
cartoon?
Yeah, with the grunts.
Oh, The Incredibles.
No, The Incredibles is the family.
I haven't seen it, so I don't know what happens.
Indeductibles. What's the with Gru? G-R-U. G-R-U.
Wait, who's Gru? Why am I blanking on this?
From Despicable Me. Sorry.
Oh, I haven't seen that either, yeah.
Oh, really? That's a really good show.
I didn't see none of them.
Oh, wow. There's 3 of them now.
I was just about to do something.
Felonious Gru is his name.
Great.
It's a good one. It's a good time in the readers.
I've heard it's good. I like
It's like a funnier
I
Shrek.
want to blank on his name too. God damn it. Michael Scott from The Office.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I'm a big fan of his work. So much a fan, I would say, that I don't know what his name is. Can't remember it. I'm not going to look it
That's
up
why
either.
we're here. For information, peeps. The Indespectables.
Indespectables. I need to. Other thing I forgot last week was to.
Oh my god.
What?
Sorry, I forgot. Before I forget, I booted up Jedi Knight Mysteries of the Sith.
It's a bad mistake.
It's a PC game. I remember loving it. It is horrendous. It is so bad. It's like terrible CGI, like classic terrible CGI from the 90s. Like the original Dark Knight or Dark Jedi ones.
Yeah.
But there's no cutscenes. So you don't even have like fake people going on and like so there was just like blocks of people walking up. Their mouths don't move. That's how bad it is. They just shake their head like back and forth slowly. The Jedi are taking over.
Well,
And you're
how
like,
old is it?
96 or something? 97?
Oh, shit.
But the Jedi the Jedi Knight games are before that. It's supposed to be third in line. It's bad. It
sucks.
Bad. But it's Mara Jade and Kyle Katarn.
Are we talking
That's
about
why-
Kyle Katarn again?
That's the end of that.
I didn't know that one was in the middle of the series.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Mysteries of the Sith.
I don't think I've heard of that one.
I got it as a bonus. So when I bought Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, Mysteries of the Sith came with it.
I probably do. I bought that whole bundle even though I don't have Windows because it's on Steam. So if I log into my Steam account on Windows, I can play it. But I think half of them were Mac. So I just bought the whole bundle just for one day.
Just for the day.
Just for one day, I'll be able to. Oh, well, speaking of, I'm going to install a boot camp partition on my Mac so I can start up Windows and then I can run.
Age of...
Yeah, because Fucko in our chat said something about the Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition. And I'm like, I need to play this right now. I need it in my life.
What is it, a definitive edition?
Well, they did that. They brought it back, the first one, like a year or two ago. And it was, I think, just remastered and refined a little bit for Age of Empires 1.
Really?
Yeah.
I
And then
don't
they
remember
just
that.
announced Age of Empires 2 at B3.
B3?
Q3. So I do want to play that. There's a lot of PC games I've been missing out on, you might say.
Yeah, a lot of them. Before we jump into Guess the Scene, you want to do the raffle here real quick?
The raffle?
Not the raffle, the giveaway.
I was going to say, well, I guess it is kind of a raffle system. If by raffle you mean I look at a list of our patrons and close my eyes and pick one at random.
That's how it works, though. We've got just a little podcast. I think that's Cookie or Marco. Marcus? Markram? And Rural Farm Boy up in this bitch.
Rural Farm Boy. You're always up, man. You're always here.
Yeah, you are a champion of...
I'm with it.
You're like the Hercules of normal human beings. Which means
Hercules.
you're just a hero.
Hercules is the Hercules of normal human beings.
Hercules!
Yeah, it didn't work. Hello, Leif. Or do you pronounce it Leaf?
I don't know.
Did you ever watch Shameless?
Yeah, I watched it all.
Sorry, that's not what I meant.
No, then.
Did you ever watch Crashing?
No.
Pete Holmes. It's not bad. I recommend you try it out.
I think you recommended that before.
Yeah. It's quick. Each episode is like 22 minutes, and each season is only 6 episodes. So you can get through the whole thing in like 3 hours. Oh, who do we want to pick for the winner?
Who do you want to pick?
Randomize it, randomize it, randomize it.
Keep scrolling. Right? Oh, nope. There we go. 3, 2, 1.
Who you landed on
Hogan.
Hogan Garrison. You lucky son of a bitch.
I think Hogan won. So what he won was a podcast hat. We introduced those at Celebration. If you guys are fans of the show and want to look like Mopar, or even try to attempt to be as cool as
true.
one said Mopar,
I put a hat on. I didn't recognize myself. In the
or
mirror.
if you got a bald spot, this is a great opportunity. Cover up that. So Hogan will get a podcast hat and then a Pilsner Urquell glass. We'll be sending that out to him. But I do want to reiterate: next 3 patrons, new patrons. Fuck the ones that are already here. Next 3 new patrons will get a Pilsner Urquell beer glass sent out to them. So
yes,
it's one of my favorite beer glasses, honestly. Just the girth of it. It's like an R2D2. Like, it's just girth.
it is, and it's short and stout.
Short but it's a Pilsner. Short and Pilsner.
All right, I see Mopar. I see you.
I see
what you're
happened.
doing.
I see it.
I understand. Ooh.
All right, so let's get into Guess the Scene. I know everybody live loves to get into this.
It's a fun game. We skipped it last week, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We accidentally forgot.
See what? Well, that was our first episode back, and that's when I forgot the title. That's when I forgot a bunch of things.
You know what I see here is 4, 4, 4.
Ooh.
You want to do episode 4, 44 minutes in?
My favorite movie.
I think they're still dusty.
It's the not boring one.
I think it's still on Tatooine.
They're definitely still on Tatooine. I guarantee that.
That sucks. Do you still want to do that?
Yeah, because I think it was the issue last time.
We don't serve their kind. That's what I'm guessing.
I think it was a little later, and we were like, "Oh, they're taking off probably from Tatooine," and no, they're still in the cantina. They still got another fucking tirade of things to do on the Mos Eisley. So 44 minutes into A New Hope.
You know what? I'm gonna say it's probably in between. These aren't the droids you're looking for, and we don't serve their kind, which is only like I feel like a 2-minute span, but I feel like it's somewhere in there.
The tricky thing is it could be one of those random scenes on the Death Star that they cut back to.
Yeah,
Like that happens like a couple times while they're on Tatooine.
Wait, when does the I find your lack of faith disturbing choke scene happen? It's right there somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah, it's while they're on Tatooine still. It is.
So again, guess the scene. This is we're on episode 4, 44 minutes into that movie. What scene is happening at the 44-minute mark? Episode 4. Yeah, now that you said that, does that happen first, or does the we don't serve your kind? I feel like that would have to happen first.
Because these aren't the droids you're looking for?
No. I find your lack of faith disturbing.
See, I don't know where those splice in, so I don't know exactly. I'm not the person to ask.
I think it's pretty early in. I think that happens like after they find R2 out by the sand people, and it like Obi-Wan comes out with his shriek and then saves Luke. Wow! Lead him back home, and then he goes and sees the skeletons, and then from the skeletons I feel like it goes into that, and then they break away. These aren't the droids you're looking for. My official one is going to be these aren't the droids you're looking for. 44 minutes in.
All right, I'm going to say a little before that, Obi-Wan and Luke are on the cliff looking at Mos Eisley.
Much too accurate for sand people.
No, not that part. More wretched hive of scum and fuckery.
Wretchedness on the wretched.
Scum and ridiculousness.
So get in your guess if you're listening to us later.
Pause if you need to.
Pause and really think about it.
Because we're scrubbing through. All right. We're about a half hour in, and Ben just showed up. That crazy old wizard is just an old crazy man.
Oh, I forgot about that whole scene,
Ooh,
too.
they're in the house. Blast points at 40. 42. Luke's crying.
Did I get it right?
You might have. Oh, boy. There's a Ronto walking in my face. Give me 1 second. We're at 43 and a half.
Oh, my God. I'm good at this. I hate listening back and me yelling into the thing.
It's
but
okay.
I get excited, man.
Yeah, so it was about 43 minutes and 40 is when he says he does the mind trick. And we have a grace period of a minute either direction. So you win.
Move along. It's almost like when he says move along, it's like right there.
So, did you win or did you win? What did you guess? Did you get it? Did you lose? Did you watch the movie? Did you use the time?
Is this the unaltered or the despecialized?
This is the special edition, just because we started it. We started the game using those, so I wanted to keep it nice and consistent. If
Can
you will.
can you bring up the despecialized here?
Yeah.
Go to like that exact scene, and I want to look around because that's Mos Eisley. I just when I was watching it on the plane, I just kept thinking, look how empty this area is. It's supposed to be like the city. Look at oh my god.
I don't think it looks that bad.
No. I'm sorry. This is really busy right here.
Before or later than this? You want me to go?
Later than this. It's when they're walking into Cantina. There's like 2 people in the entire scene. I feel like. Yeah, I mean, I guess. Whoop.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
3 people walking in a line. I don't know. It's not that bad, but it seems very empty for a city.
I know what you mean. Yeah, but it's also Tatooine. It's not Coruscant.
Yeah, I feel you.
We'll see what happens when they walk out. Yeah, I guess it's not that bad. Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah,
It's better than a fucking Ronto in my face.
almost as good.
Anything's better than that.
Oh, move along. Move along.
Literally move along.
So that was Guess the Scene. We got, like, we're checking shit off here. Guess the Scene, giveaway. I talked about Patron 2 out of, I got to hit 8 mark. I got to talk about it 8 times. So marketing people say, if you just stop, if you just keep fucking talking about stuff until people do it, then they do it.
Guys, you know about Patreon? It's patron with an E shoved in there. You go to patreon.com.
Have you checked it out?
Haha.
Good day, Galaxy.
Travis said he started digital recording his old VCR copies. Interesting.
Oh, nice. We actually have VHSs right here from, I think, 95. So these got to be pre-special editions.
They are, but isn't it not remastered per se, but like enhanced, right?
I'm not sure. I don't...
I feel like it is. Is it like
It just says, oh, sorry. It just says widescreen edition, which is nice.
Because back then, everything was full screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Using stinkins.
We said thinking Jar Jar gonna die, Obi?
So we talked a little bit about Chernobyl. We'll be done with that. The Vader thing. Let's get into your Vader theory things.
So I was watching some videos from Star Wars Explained there on the YouTubes.
Mm-hmm.
They were discussing a conversation that he had with his wife about Vader, and at the end of Return of the Jedi, it's pretty confirmed that he dies from Force lightning from Palpatine. Redeems himself, talks to Luke, cries a little bit, dusts his face, and then he eventually dies because the lightning fucked him up. So they were just talking about it, and something popped up, and their question was like, is it possible that Vader was keeping himself alive so long from anger and hatred and rage, and he should have died on Mustafar, and he shouldn't be able to live in his suit, but he's so mad that the dark side keeps him alive that once Luke actually turns him and he's back on the good side and he redeems himself, he doesn't have the dark side anymore. He has no anger, and his body just fails because he can't keep himself alive anymore.
I mean, I think it's a blend of the two. I always thought it was a blend.
I think it's definitely like script-wise, it's the lightning.
Yeah, I mean, that
But
makes
it's
sense.
an interesting thought. Like, I mean, he shouldn't be alive. He's a fucking demented monster, a zombie person. So, like, it would make sense that, like, his hatred and rage is keeping him alive throughout the whole thing. And we've talked about that as we read through some of his comics and everything.
You
and
know,
then once he doesn't have that, he can't keep his body moving.
they ruined it.
Who ruined what?
Star Wars. They ruined, I mean, kind of the theories around this and the discussions around it because Grievous exists. He's a set of fucking lungs, an eyeball, and a kidney, and he exists without the dark side. Well, with let's just call it trace amounts of dark side. So
Trace.
but you know what I'm saying? Like it's he's not funneling anything like enough to keep himself alive. So there are machines out there good enough to keep a set of organs alive.
Right.
Anakin physically should still be able to live. Like even now on Earth, you can have your arms cut off and your legs cut off and you could be completely fine because there's no vital organs hit. So I completely think the suit itself should be able to keep him alive.
Yeah.
Now I think the suit was keeping him alive, so he was able to build the anger and be so efficient in a shitty suit because he was way too powerful for how clunky that suit was.
True.
He should not have been that agile.
Huh. So
But
Grievous ruined my thought.
Grievous,
Thanks
see?
a lot, Grievous.
General Grievous.
He's shorter than I expected.
You're much more arid in the waistline
You're
than
skinny as fuck. You look great. What have you been doing, Jenny Craig?
Do you oil yourself, or what do you do for enthusiasm in the gut, man? Like, what the fuck are you?
Taking those probiotics, Grievous. I see you.
Does he have to relieve himself one way or another? He doesn't have
Hydraulic
giblets left.
fuel.
He doesn't have giblets. He just gets an oil change every once in a while.
Yeah, he's got to replenish the hydraulic fuel.
Could you imagine him in an oil bath with just a bunch of sluts around him? Oh, these are the good days.
Wait, so what would it be? Twi'leks that also got damaged in a crash and got rebuilt as robots?
Just headless droids.
All they could save was the Lekus, and they just built a robot out of the rest of it.
You know, there was something I read. We might have touched on it years and years ago about Grievous absolutely hated droids, and it even more so fueled his anger because he was received as a droid for the most part.
Oh.
And that just fucking pissed him off because he thought droids were way below him.
Yeah.
So like
Well,
even Grievous, I think, says something like, the droid army is done by Grievous because that's his people. And he's like, you, Grievous,
people.
fuck you. You made me like this. Like he didn't know that, but fembots. He just he's surrounded by a bunch of fembots.
That would be it. I read his comic the other day. He's pissed, man.
Grievous?
He's pissed. He kills a couple Jedi. He's tracking them down, and there's this Jedi.
Stop. Pause. Double pause. He kills a couple Jedi just like at the beginning, but you scanned over that so quickly. Yeah, he kills a couple ancient people that should never die.
Well, that's kind of his shtick, you know. I don't think I need to go into detail. Grievous is like, die and give me your hilt, please. Thank you.
Die. Next.
So yeah, it starts off with I'm sure they're like Padawans or something because he just like cuts them down. He's like,
on the way to the laundry day.
on the way to the laundromat.
He had to get his cape
the Jedi laundromat.
repressed.
But there's this Force temple on a different planet, and he was tracking them there. So he kills them, goes inside the temple, and then the Force is trying to show him this vision of like how demented he is because of all of his.
Wait, how is the Force reaching out to him?
Let me find it.
What? See, that's also
It
really
might not
cool.
be the Force reaching out to him. It could be this thing in the temple that like shows you a vision. Let me find it.
That's also really cool because I do truly believe that should exist. Like, even if you're not Force sensitive per se, the Force should be able to still reach out to you.
Yeah, for sure. So like he comes up along this wall in the temple, and he like goes in.
He's like, I'm here.
He's pissed, and then it starts to show him like that he's having like a Force
Oh, that's him.
acid trip right here, and then here's him before the crash.
He looks kind of terrible. He looked cooler in Legends, but that's fine. His species looks cool, but he looks like he looks like a bad guard in Aladdin.
Yeah.
With 100 bad guys with swords. And then
He
he's in the
does.
background like just swinging his sword. What in the?
So anyways, it's trying to show him that he's become, you know, just pure wretched evil and hatred because he's so angry about his wreck and everything.
He's got withdrawal.
It's trying
Look
to
at
turn
He's
him
like
back.
scratching his skin off. He's
Yeah,
having
it's
withdrawals.
just trying to like open his mind up and be like, you know, you're having a bad life right now because you're trying to kill everybody. And then he gets out of the vision and he's like, fuck this, and he goes around and he cuts everything up and he explodes and he has his ship from space bombard the planet and just blow the fucking Jedi temple. I thought it was so brutal.
Fire.
I thought it was so freaking savage.
These close-ups. I mean, his eyes are some of the best part of any species.
That's one of the best things George Lucas has ever made is General Grievous's eyes.
The fact that he had 2 of them sucks. If he had 3, could you imagine? He'd be my favorite character.
What about just one, like a Cyclops?
What's Mopar Saiyans Legends stories? I don't know what that question is. Badass Yoda shirt. Actually, yeah. So this was a gift to myself from Commander.
I got it from him.
Yeah, so thank you. If you want one, hit him up. Because I ordered one of these and it was the shittiest. I told you that. It was like this big.
Oh,
and
I think
it was
that's
like,
why I got that for you. Yeah.
It's terrible.
Dude, I've gotten so many terrible shirts
I
online.
immediately opened it up and just threw it right in the trash. I was like, I wouldn't even give this away.
You know, yeah, that's happened to me a couple times. I scrolling through Facebook, I see an ad for a cool shirt. I saw a cool Wayne's World one. And then you buy it, and then it's this shirt that's three sizes too big, and the image is as small as possible right on the center, and it just looked like garbage.
I almost want to just start wearing shirts like that because they're such trash looking.
Just like a fucking crooked logo.
Croco. I just want to get like the DVD covers, but actual size, and just put it on my chest, like Wayne's World. Wayne's World, just like right here, and that's it. Doesn't say anything else. Discolored. Everything's just kind of more red than usual.
That's a ridiculous idea. It sounds cool though. I'm gonna text it to myself.
Sweeted. You know what that is with the Be Kind Rewind?
Dude, I wish they would have done Star Wars Sweeted.
It's true.
But couldn't get the rights, guaranteed.
Dude, when they start making the Sweeted versions in Be Kind Rewind, the Rush Hour one, this bamboo very strong, and he tries to break it, and he's ah!
The funniest part on that I still crack up at every time.
I know what you're gonna say.
Well, besides Jack Black's like assistant mechanic, he's amazing. But it's when they have to do night vision and they scan their faces on the copier and they invert the colors on the camera. But every time they're turning, it's just one image, so they turn, but their face is the same position every time. It looks so ridiculous.
I thought you were gonna say because every time someone gets shot, they put like a pizza where the people got shot, and that's supposed to be the blood.
The blood spatter.
Pizza.
That's so funny.
That's such a great movie. I gotta stop
So
there.
good.
I drive all around Passaic, New Jersey, often because that's actually where one of my distributors like lives, like within 45 minutes of that area. I always tell myself I'm gonna drive over there just to drive through the city, and I never get to it. So, but one of these times I'm gonna stop through there.
Yeah. So go check that movie out.
Yes, highly recommended.
Mos Def and Jack Black and
Mos
their
Def
glory. And Danny Glover.
Danny Glovers. Danny Glovers.
Ooh.
So your Vader
That's my
thing
favorite
fell
picture.
through.
Well, I still think it's an interesting thought. Let's just ignore Grievous for a little bit. Like, I think that I like it. I like the idea that I'm sure the lightning fucking hurt him, obviously. But if he got shot by Palpatine and then he killed Luke and kept being pissed, I think he would have survived. I think he lost the dark side because he turned back. He redeemed himself. And he couldn't keep his zombie-ass body alive anymore.
His zombie ass was alive, but his body gave through.
This is the Empire's ass.
This is the Empire's ass. That was a cross between all of it. America.
This is our bridge from the Marvel universe to the Star Wars universe.
I'd like to think that once the suit went down, there was no saving him.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of what actually killed him, once the suit goes down, he can't live outside of the suit.
Doesn't he have a vault like Batman where he has multiple suits?
Yeah. Well, is that a good question?
That's why I asked it.
No,
I imagine well, I mean, I don't think he does, but
I highly doubt it.
well,
Is
I
it
guess
weird?
I take that back.
Is it weird that in episode 4 his suit looks like shit, and then 5
Dude,
and 6?
it is. And you know what I didn't notice? Let's talk about this for half a fucking second. I didn't notice this until I saw the Black Series figure, but he has these little ribbons of felt on his fucking thing.
Ribbons of felt.
I don't know how else to say that, but look at his suit here, and he has these two little straps on the side of material, the same material as his cape.
It looks bad there. It's supposed to be more of a full, because it goes all the way through his belt. It goes to the floor.
I think
Just
so.
like Revan.
And it's kind of blended in when it's him on film. It's like not that bad. But I didn't notice that was there at all until I saw the Black Series figure, and I was like, "What the fuck is this little vest thing going on?"
No, it's not a vest. It's like the front part of his robes, but it's tucked into his belt.
Yeah. Well,
So
I get that now.
if you take off the belt, it would like flow. Flow.
Well, I get that now.
Like look at that where he's flying through the air right there. The white.
This one?
Nope, to the left. That. See, he's got like parachute pants. Oh, they don't have it built in there. Kinda.
Yeah.
It goes around his legs.
I see what you mean. But yeah, I think it looks dumb, and I didn't notice it until now. So I wanted to complain about
So
it.
Vader's no longer.
The reason I brought that up is because I was going to say that he does change suits. I mean, his suit is different a little bit in all those, and even in Revenge of the Sith, it's a little different too.
You would imagine. One thing that I've always been pissed off about is. Ooh, you could imagine. Is the fact that he's so handy mechanically. Why wouldn't he be able to build a better suit? He built the fastest pod ever.
I thought you were going to say handsome.
He's so handsome.
He's so handsome. Actually, I think there's a cringy comic that just came out where some like sympathetic woman falls in love with Darth Vader. The last time I was on Twitter, I saw a bunch of screen grabs.
Don't mention that. If you mention that again,
hey,
guys, that ruins everything.
it does a lot. That happens.
Let me ask you something else that may ruin everything.
As long as you don't forget to keep talking about how handy he is.
So in episode 9, let me ask you this real simply: if they have another super weapon in episode 9. On a scale from 1 to green, how fucking pissed would you be?
Green.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be dumb.
I don't think they will. There's theories out there now already.
Well, there's been theories since before the trailer.
The only way they could get away with it is if it was a different type of super weapon and not necessarily a big tit gun. Like the Starforge, if it was more of like a fucking like a production, like that would be fine with me. It would still be kind of dumb. But you got to get past this death ray, but like I'm done with it.
Well, think about it from a plot perspective. Like, what is going to bring the two armies to their main conflict with one another? Like a lot of times it would be like well, yeah. I mean, they have battles. But like the final fucking showdown.
It's called Star Wars. There's wars and
wars, conflicts, battles, grievances. But the final big one is going to be over some huge event that they did, or the super weapon that they built, or something like that.
So now that you say that, I'm gonna start digging into what I want.
That's my way to apologize for the Death Star too.
This is I came up with this during my traffic drive. I didn't say it. So this is for everybody. I was thinking of a Star Wars film story.
Why
whatever.
did you say traffic drive?
Traffic drive.
All right.
Picture this: a planet. This is what made me think of it. So in Fallen Order, the reason the Empire's there is for the tree sap. But they don't specify what the tree sap is used for. And I kind of go into theories for the patrons on my little rant. But that was one of the things I read was the Imperial compound or whatever was there. Their presence was because of the tree sap. And I was like, what the fuck is the tree sap for? This is awesome, blah, blah, blah.
It gives you force powers.
So that got me thinking. Let's just say there's a planet with something along the lines of tree sap. That's lush with this one element, mineral, whatever it is. It's lush with it. Let's say there's 2 species or 2 opposing cultures, tribes on this one planet.
Okay.
One of them lives in the very lush part. The other one is in, let's just say, desert. And they need to get to the lush part to just live and exist.
Okay.
They've been battling these two or this other culture. What am I trying to say?
Tribe?
Civilization. Yeah, whatever. Yeah. So
race.
Let's
species?
just say the rebellion starts funding the species that lives in the lush part. Let's just call it Mineral X. They live on top of Mineral X.
Boom.
The Mineral X could be very useful in military applications, and the rebellion wants to get to that before the Empire. So the rebellion starts giving the Mineral X civilization weapons, money, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
The Empire hears about this and starts funneling money and weapons into the other people.
For sure.
This could be the big battle over something as stupid as that, because if you win over this Mineral X, it could change like the technology of the war, something like that, like crazily. But it's like so demonizing on both sides.
I like that.
Because the one civilization simply just needs this mineral to live.
Yeah,
like
I know what you mean.
So they look at the rebellion like, dude, fuck you. I'm just trying to like save my family, and I'm getting shot up by rebellion, X-wings and shit.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Fuck the rebellion. So that's like, I love the split. I love the setting. I love the divide, and I love how both of them can come in, destroy each other, and the entire planet basically gets destroyed because of the overlying conflict, and maybe have a couple of the both species that get away, and they're like, this whole thing's fucked. They fucked everything up. They took everything that we had. They destroyed our families. It's their fault and their fault. And I feel like that would be a good like pirate. Like, you know what? Let's just work together and fuck them both up. Let's steal from both of them.
It also adds in the element of like this innocent group that's caught in the middle of the struggle.
Both of them are innocent. Like
I like
who's
the
not
idea.
innocent?
I like the idea. Only thing I would say there in defense of episode 9 being like the last of a trilogy and the last of a saga, that kind of scenario requires a lot more build up and exposition.
I didn't mean for episode 9. I just meant for
I
like
the
a
idea
side
in
for a
general.
side thing.
Like I guess my whole point was in defending like the super weapon trope is that for the two forces to come to a head in a super critical battle, I feel like it usually is over something huge like that. Like in 8, they were about to be wiped out entirely. That could have been the end of the Resistance. That's a pretty big deal. In episode 7, the Starkiller base blew up the fucking entire Republic in one shot, and it could do it again. So like, there's huge moments like that that everybody in the Resistance needs to like step up and join this battle.
But the issue was there was nothing at stake. It's the Alderaan effect.
We weren't
nothing was at
shown-
stake. No, I didn't give a flying fuck about
Exactly.
Alderaan.
Exactly.
I didn't give a shit about the Hosnian system because there's nothing that I connect to yet.
Well, they
You blew it
showed,
up
the little the dude.
There was that one guy who was like sipping on his martini.
Well, it was turning red, and he was like, "Shit,
That's
what is happening?"
But that's a lack in I feel like writing. Like why? Okay, you blew that up, but it wasn't even set up before you blew it up.
Well, it was the first movie.
They've
They
done
didn't
it.
have time to set it up.
Even Han Solo was like, they've done what? What the fuck are you talking about?
First Order's done it.
The Force Order, they've done it.
Finn says that. I understand the argument on both sides. I think it would be unimaginative to have yet another super weapon. I hope that doesn't happen in 9, but I guess me explaining why it happened in 7, that's kind of what I'm going for.
Now, last episode, we did take a look at those vanity pictures.
Yeah, Vanity Fair.
We're getting Knights of Ren.
Hell yeah.
You want to start theorizing about that? Where do they come into play?
Well, I think I did mention this after Celebration, but before we saw the Vanity Fair pictures, obviously, it was my theory that when Kylo Ren in the teaser is running through that forest, chopping people down, he's chopping down his own guys. He's chopping down the Knights of Ren. So my theory is, obviously, Kylo is opposed to Rey and the crew, but when they discover what the hell is going on with Palpatine, if it's a holocron or if he's back or whatever it's going to be, I think Kylo realizes it's that big of a deal that he needs to stop that, and they join forces. The Knights of Ren are trying to stop him because, like, obviously they're serving him, but maybe they're serving somebody higher above. Maybe they're protecting some kind of secret. So when he's trying to go after it, he has to cut them all down in order to get there and help Rey. That's my theory. I'm honestly surprised that not only are they in 9, that they put them in the first batch of images released.
I think that's how much crazy shit's gonna happen. Do we have like a rough time length of this film? Is it gonna be like 2.5 hours?
I don't think so.
One of the things I actually came across, and not to blow all of my extra patron only stuff, but there was a small tidbit that I came across that I spoke about. Episode 9 is a little different than all other films or in Star Wars because they are editing on filming days. They're editing on site. And that was something that I read that the film editor talked JJ into because of the time constraint. She said for episode 7 and 8, they got started filming in like July or May or something like that. They said in 9, they didn't get started till August. So she said there was like 4 months less that they had for post-production. And for a film like Star Wars, they said post-production is usually longer.
2/3 of the work.
Yeah, 2/3 of the work. So she said if we can just edit on site during filming, that even like rough cuts, it would save so much time. And he, I guess, had a lot of pushback, and he said, "No, that's not how we do it." But eventually, he broke down and said, "Okay, we're going to do that for this film."
That's interesting.
So, I mean, I didn't think it was going to mess up. Let me say it this way: if 9's a failure, that's one of the points I'm sure that's going to be brought up. It was completely different because of that.
It's not going to be a failure. We already know that.
I know. Kerner here says Kylo has stormtroopers with him during that sequence in the trailer, though.
How do you know they're with him?
Not against him.
Right. Or if that leaked poster we now know is actually somewhat true, remember there was that row of red stormtroopers at the very bottom. So perhaps the Knights of Ren have their own little garrison, like the 501st, or vice versa. Kylo Ren has his own garrison that's loyal to him. Fuck the First Order. We're following Kylo because he's the badass.
Could you imagine like the First Order as literally? There's gonna be more to this once, even after I ask this. So, like being the actual First Order, like it's Phase 1. Let's call it Phase 1. The Phase 1 Order. They do this. They take over and they really start putting them like the restraints down on the governments, the New Republic. Start killing Jedi, and they do okay. So maybe the Second Order, this Phase 2, are these red stormtroopers. There's more technology. There's more time. There was more preparations in the second wave.
Are you talking about relation of their name to like some sort of contingency plan?
Well, they like almost like
It just got brighter.
the daytime
We're
came.
back, everybody.
Was that a Nelly song? Hey.
Was bobbing in the night. We're getting copy stricken.
Oh my God.
That's funny.
No, more along the lines like whoever put these contingency plans in order, let's say it's Palpatine, he knew the First Order was a limited, like a temporary order. Let's put these stormtroopers, we'll get them new shit, and let's say Kylo, or we'll put Snoke in order, or in power.
In power.
But while that's doing its thing, we're training all these crazy assassins.
What if this has already happened though? Like, what if it's already known what went on? This is where we need to read the Aftermath books.
I don't know.
I like the idea. I think when we first heard that it was called the First Order, we were like, well, what if Palpatine had Order 66? Maybe this is the first one in a different string of them or something.
Like they're doing their orders the way the Star Wars films were released. We'll start at 66.
Then go to 1, and then go to 100, then go to 9.
Loot crates. Yeah, what if they have loot crates in episode 9?
Loot crates.
Loot crates. That way, like if you come to the theater with another extra $50, you get another half hour, and a fake lightsaber. Which
It was
is
about $50, motherfucker. You know you owe me.
you owe me from last time, motherfucker. Comb your
let's see.
beard.
The First Order was a hermit state and military. What is junta? That emerged during the era of the New Republic, 3 decades after the fall of the Empire. Was once a remnant of the Empire, the First Order evolved into a separate faction, but still remained influenced by New Order ideology. Under the rule of Supreme Leader Snoke, the First Order military was mobilized through a clandestine rearmament program that violated the Galactic Concordance, the peace treaty that ended the Galactic Civil War. See, there's a whole trilogy called Aftermath, and I guarantee all that shit we want is in there. I just haven't read it because I'm a bad fan.
Was a hermit state and military junta that emerged during the era of the New Republic.
I just read all that.
I know. I'm trying to take that in. So also known as the Order.
Yeah.
History. For roughly 1,000 years, the Galactic Empire was fucked by Darth Vader and his long dick of the... What? Chancellor Mothma. I didn't realize she was Chancellor. Was Chancellor Mothma... Mothma killed in
Mon
episode
Mothma?
7? Is that what we're assuming?
I don't know, actually.
Because if we knew she was killed during the Hosnian blow up, that would mean a lot more to me.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know if she was or not. Huh. I have to read more about this. I don't know if it's appropriate to read it on the air because everyone's probably bored.
It's fine, fuck them.
But I do want to, I'm curious, like as the Galactic Empire collapsed, it transformed into the Imperial Remnant. That's kind of throwing back to Legends. Even their white uniforms and everything look fucking sweet. Yeah, it's this whole thing about the unknown regions that I don't know if they've even completed telling the story about, but...
Oh, it fled to the unknown regions where they reformed into the First Order.
Because that's where Jakku comes in.
So you're... Because that's an unknown region?
Before Palpatine died, he was obsessed with trying to research these hyperspace routes that led safely into the unknown regions so they could come back. And I think Jakku was an outpost, or it was a laboratory or something, like on the way into the outer regions, unknown regions.
Could you imagine that Rey was born in the unknown regions? Ooh, and she was brought back from like a failed...
What if Rey is Yuuzhan Vong?
How many tentacles does she have?
I think I figured it out, everybody. Episode 10, here we go.
No, but that's actually... I mean, that's cool. That makes sense. If Palpatine was trying to go outside of all of it because he has this. It's all in his basket. But outside of it, he's like, you know what? I could live for another fucking 60 years off of some shit that I find out there. Let's start looking it up.
Got better hyperdrives. More hydro spanners.
Look at the dude's face over there to the left.
That's dude from Resistance.
I'm pretty fucked up.
No, I can't speak.
I'm actively doing it, but I can't talk right now.
Announcing that I can't speak. Yeah. I'm hyped for 9. I don't know what's gonna happen. That's the thing that I love the most. Like Travis just mentioned, are they gonna do what Marvel did for Endgame and purposely put wrong footage in trailers and stuff?
Well, just like Rogue One, the whole fucking thing was different.
That was because of reshoots. That wasn't because of purposely misdirecting us. Endgame, they literally filmed extra stuff that wasn't part of the movie.
I can see them doing
to
that.
put in the trailer. So I think for 9, especially being the one that's going to tie everything together, and the whole hatred boys that are all pissed about episode 8, I think they're going to play it very, very carefully.
Yeah, if this has to do deeply,
Play it carefully as far as marketing goes. Sorry, not carefully.
Way to Mopar it up.
Not. I didn't want to mean like they were going to play it safe as far as like the plot and everything. I just mean marketing the movie and doing the trailers and getting the word out. I think they're going to play it safe. Keep continuing.
I don't know what I was going to say. It was somewhere up there. I'm kind of thinking about the unknown regions. I'm really interested to. Was there more Wookiee sap out there that they wanted to know
A
about?
bunch of unknown sap too.
It's good. It's good on bread.
Preserves.
Preserved. It ain't got none of them chemicals in it.
Oh man.
All natural. Wookiee hair and sap. You got your green. You got your juices.
You got your brain. Yeah.
Vitamin W. Can you cite some examples where Endgame showed fake footage?
Kerner, no, I'm not going to write a research paper on that right now.
I'll do a synopsis later, but
See my footnote 7.
no,
the
I actually,
Hawk was seen in this scene that he wasn't actually in.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was either scenes that were different than what appeared in the movie, or they removed or added things to scenes. Like when all the Avengers are walking through the room ready to get teleported.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Hawk is there. I don't think Thor is in there. I don't think Iron Man's in there. So they just show half of them, but stuff like that.
Leading up to the destruction of the Hosnian system.
Kerner, just go to YouTube and look. I think Mr. Sunday has a video that's like all the scenes in the trailers for Endgame that weren't in the movie.
Much better show than this.
And I wouldn't say it's a better show, per se. He's better at explaining that kind of detail.
And having good knowledge.
He's also funnier than us, too.
That's the
Damn
first,
it!
That's the first order.
Damn it, Mr. Sunday. What the fuck?
I thought you said Mistress Sunday. Damn it!
Mistress Sundays.
Empress. Saturday afternoon.
Empress Sunday.
Sunday. Let's jump into this.
What?
Most
relatable characters? Talk about it.
So I kind of had a gripe. I got against my own thinkings.
Well, that you can't relate to any character in Star Wars?
Well, I'm going to get to a peak point.
I relate most to Luke because I'm a hero also.
I know nothing. So I like this dude. So I was kind of looking at... it all started with Solo.
Spear's good.
And one of my favorite... I don't want to say side characters. Supporting characters.
Chewie.
Was Tobias Beckett.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
Because he was like the wise old dude, but he's also a fuck up, and he's also like emotionally scarred, and you know that, but he's still kind of the hero, but he kind of turns at the end, but you still learn, like there's so much depth, and even the small stuff, like his crew, obviously he was in love with Val. He picked up Rio along the way, who had his own really cool and unique character, well-rounded characterness.
It's a good fucking movie.
But Tobias Beckett was the one that kind of rung true. And not that he was the most relatable, but that was the dude that was just like, you know what? I get it. And
So
even when
is
Val...
is that the question, or should it be like...
No, I want to stick with relatable, but this is kind of what sparked it, my thinking here. Because, like, I don't know who in that movie I would relate to. I guess Han? Because I feel like I'm somewhat his age. Maybe he was probably a little younger than we are now. But, like, he's up and coming and, like, got so much ahead of him. And but he kind of still fucks up.
I guess that's the problem, is that I've never been a child thief or a slumlord on a space planet. So I don't know if I can relate to Han Solo.
Then let's just get into it then.
I've also never been a giant hairy beast trapped in a cave being forced to kill people.
I think that's what I chose because I was like, I got a lot of chest hair. I'll stick to Chewie.
I relate to Chewie because I like being... I'm pretty soft-spoken, except for when I'm on the podcast. I really don't talk that much. I don't like to do small talk. I don't
when
go
you
out
do
and
talk,
meet people. I act differently on the show. When I'm doing a podcast, I talk the fuck a lot more, and I like it. But in person, I don't really talk that much. Kind of quiet. I'm taller than everybody else, and I just usually stand over there and like have a beer, and I'm just like observing and seeing what's going on. So I do relate to Chewie.
The observations.
I do relate to Chewie.
But that's kind of where my mind started, and then I started wandering into the most relatable characters because I started like just really thinking, who out of the original trilogies, well, out of the 3 trilogies, do I relate to? And I was looking at the prequels, and I was like, childanakin.com. When I was a kid, I was 10 years old, and he's pod racing and having a fucking ball of time, and then being trained as a Jedi, I was like, dude, I want to be fucking Anakin.
Yeah, but how is that relatable, though? You just wanted to be Anakin.
Well, no. I mean,
You had a dad. You didn't build the fastest ever. You didn't have to leave your mom and go train.
There was a fastest ever. We both had fastest evers in the garage somewhere. But yeah, I
Bill,
just
about
felt,
your dad. Your dad wasn't the Force.
I'm just saying, someone that not that I relate to, but that I attach myself to. Like I understand him,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
and obviously, we knew Anakin was gonna become Darth Vader, but it was one of those where like I can grow with him,
Yeah.
kind of like Harry Potter thing. So
Oh, totally.
we were somewhat his age.
Except they kind of jumped at 10 years.
Yeah, so did I. But yeah, so Anakin, like child Anakin, regardless of how bad the lines were, the acting, like that's who I latched onto, especially at the time because of my age.
And let's be honest, he was 9. Is it really that bad, or is that just what a fucking 9-year-old sounds like? Because
Yeah.
9-year-olds are stupid.
Yeah.
Even the Chosen One is stupid. He's 9.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And then the sequel trilogy was the one that surprised me the most.
Is it Rey?
No. The perfect sand angel? She can't do anything right or wrong. She just, I don't know. My one was the most
Right or wrong.
the most relatable for me, Kylo Ren,
Interesting.
because he's emotional. You can see him like, I get pissed when I fail. What girl? And he fucking freaks out. And then
He's
later
also
on,
got a lot of raw talent.
See, this is where I broke down Kylo. I was like, you know what I see in Kylo? The entire Sith code. You know what also I see is the entire Jedi code.
And all the gray Jedi code, too.
Yeah, I see it all. Like anger leads to hate. I hate all of it. Release my chains.
That's because he's the best character in Star Wars.
But I do see that. Like he gets pissed, but also he has restraint. There's some harmony. There's serenity. Like he didn't kill his mother for obvious reasons. Like you could see it in him.
He definitely answered all the right questions at KOTOR and the Jedi Code when they test you before you get your lightsaber. He knew all of them.
He knew it all. And then he killed everyone there.
And then in Korriban, he knew all the ones for the Sith Code, too. He's Revan.
He's Revan.
And he's also us, because we play the game.
But that's the one that, like, I really feel like Poe. I don't know. I'm kind of still out on Poe. Like, I love him as a character, but I don't think there's a lot there yet. And maybe he's one of those characters that you just have to read about.
I think there's a lot there.
No, there's really not.
As much as people give 8 shit for being slow because of the turtle chase and also being annoying and pointless because of Canto Bight, I feel like there's a lot of development for Rey, Finn, and Poe and Kylo, all in different times across episode 8. I feel like there's a lot about Poe.
I feel like there's not a lot about Finn though.
There is.
He just more realizes what's going on, the good guys and the bad. And you're like, oh man, this is exactly what I thought from the beginning anyways.
DJ is my most relatable.
Yeah.
In the sequel trilogy.
Always buzzed.
Always just like waking up from a nap like, you fucking guys trying to rebel against things?
What do you try?
What do you got break out of this? I got a whole set of the fuck are those things? They look like boots. I don't know what they are.
Yeah, he had some
no,
rain
I'm
boots.
talking about what he busts out to like hack into the security. Those like little chip things. I don't know what they're called.
Feeler gauges.
But you don't know either.
Feeler gauges are a mechanics tool.
What's a feeler gauge?
They got different thicknesses. So if like there's a clearance in an engine that's like really, really small, there's feeler gauges that you poke in there to see.
Oh,
if
and it's
there's...
like on a ring?
Yeah.
Oh, boom. That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Fucking...
I doubt you've ever seen a feeler gauge, but
Yeah, I think my dad had one.
that's possible.
I've seen him before.
Yeah. It's a lash, valve
That's why I
lashing.
thought about it, but I didn't know what it was called. So, good job using the Force.
Yeah, I thought Kylo Ren was the most relatable. What about you in the sequel?
I think DJ for sure. I wasn't joking. I was going to say Finn as well. Not that I've ever been a slave taken from birth and forced to be a soldier, but the whole idea of him like being raised with this one thing, and when it finally comes to be his task to actually like be put into action, he realizes that it's all fucked and he needs to rebel and go find himself.
Okay.
I'm with that.
Okay.
I like that story.
The original trilogy was the most difficult one for me.
Yeah, it's because it sucks.
Because I do feel like
Just kidding.
a lot of people latched on to Han Solo.
Yeah,
As the most relatable?
That's like the default try hard, like, oh, Han Solo.
But
I'm Han Solo. I
Even-
look like Han Solo.
even now, 0%. I don't.
could have played Han Solo.
0%. I'm not.
In Solo, yes.
Yeah.
OT, no, not at all.
That's why, like, even now, I feel like I'm not old enough to relate to him.
Yeah.
He's just like dumb luck, cocky, but also pretty bad at what he does. He just
He's
has
so bad.
he just has Chewie to fix everything for
That's
him.
why I love when he gets confronted by Conja Club and those other dudes in 7. They're like, you're an idiot. We all know you're out of money. Give us the fucking Rathars or whatever. And the droid. And that sand chick ninja spider girl.
The Sand Chick Ninja, Spider Girl. What's her name?
OT is hard, yeah. That's probably the spot where I would say Chewie. That's my most relatable.
Mine's not Luke.
No.
I'm literally at a loss. Like I couldn't pick it. Darth Vader.
Palpatine. Tarkin.
Tarkin's in there for like 20 minutes. I love him. He goes fire, and then it's pretty good.
Evacuate.
The moment of triumph.
He probably tried to throw an R into evacuate, and Lucas was like, "What are you saying?" Evacuate. Dude,
Evacuate.
that's one of those inside jokes that like we usually take the quote way too far, and it gets ridiculous, and it's like sounds nothing like the original. But I actually watched episode 4, and he says "swift stroke" like a fucking psychopath.
There's like L's and
Swift
swift streak. What the fuck? Could you imagine like Leia just being like, "Excuse me, what?
What did you say? How many R's are in Swift? None.
One swift streak." What?
You speaking Twilight over there?
I'd be pissed if I had that speech impediment too, bitch.
All right, well, you have to pick your answer.
Falcon. I choose the Falcon.
Yeah. Yeah, Falcon's good.
R2. I don't know. Like what?
R2, you're just dealing. You can't say anything. No one understands you. You're dealing with everybody's bullshit, and you have to come around and fix things.
You save everybody.
Yeah, you're in charge, but no, you get no credit.
Ficked it.
Fictitious.
Fictitious. I also completely forgot that R2 gets fucking annihilated by a TIE fighter in episode 4. He blows the fuck up.
He gets eaten by a swamp dragon in 5. Does anything happen in Return of the Jedi?
He fixes it.
Oh, he has to be a bartender for half the movie.
he's enslaved.
He's taken as a bartending slave.
I think that's the most fun he's ever had. Like every scene he's in, he's like, "Oh, this is fucking fun."
Probably, yeah.
People have been spilling drinks on my wires.
It's good music and his naked hose all around. I got drinks on me.
Been taking good pictures.
He's got that camera. Got the 1080p. All right. So tweet us, email us, text us.
Send us a trash bag with written thoughts.
Send us a mailgram. Send us your credit card statement with your answer on the back, please.
What are your credit card? I owe this much, but I also I agree
also
with Chewie.
think this about Chewie.
Good Day Galaxy. I think I do like the prequel trilogy. I feel like I could almost pick someone that I relate to in every episode.
That's when you brought this up. That's what I first thought you were gonna do.
I mean the original trilogy. I don't know, not Luke, and then not Luke, and then maybe Luke.
Luke's left hand.
What happens with your left hand? How do you relate? One left stuck.
Oh wait, his right hand. Sorry. My bad. Got that mixed up.
Could you imagine?
Which one is the robot hand?
Could you imagine Tarkin going into a whorehouse trying to get a hand job? Once the stroke. That's how he comes. That's what the last thing he yells.
Evacuate!
In our moment of triumph.
Once the stroke, evacuate!
In my moment of triumph.
My moment of triumph.
I think you overestimate
Ejaculate?
my chances.
Ejaculate in my moment of triumph.
Oh my god.
We gone there.
All right.
All right. Let's drink about that.
All right. Hope you're listening, Lucasfilm. G-rated podcast.
G-rated.
I was looking at our stats, which I almost never do. And in the past 3 months, we have a lot of traffic coming from San Francisco. That's like our top metro area for the past like 3 months. I was just like,
Who moved there?
I wonder if George Lucas is listening in on our show.
Dear God.
Lucasfilm's grooming us to be on the red carpet for episode 9.
If they just say ejaculate one more time, I'm never listening again.
I wish we could like be on the carpet interviewing people. Like they probably hear the same questions over and over and over again for like 3 months straight. I feel like we would ask them like ridiculous stuff. So what color Finn's underwear?
How often does he change them? Is there a washing machine on the Falcon? Does this thing have 4-wheel drive? I got into the Home Alone right there. Does this come in diesel? Does this thing 4-wheel drive? I don't know, kid. Get out of here. You know what I'm talking about? The neighbor kid who's yelling it.
Yes. Oh god, I love those movies.
I do have to watch the second one again. I haven't seen that in like years, and it's probably one of my favorites again because I didn't own it. It was one of those that when it was on TV, I was like, "Fuck yes, this is awesome."
That's one of those series where the sequel's better than the original, in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd have to watch it. I do love the first one.
Maybe because I had the Game Boy game.
Dude, the scream when he puts the spider on his face in the first one. Dude, just search up. Can you Google that?
No.
Home Alone spider face.
No. We got some updates to Battlefront.
The Droideka. But spider face.
Droideka.
The Droideka's coming out. It does look really cool. I hope it's not as clunky. I felt really clunky and slow in the original Battlefront 2. Like you would roll out, and by the time you set up,
Roll out.
can't stop that roll out. Nelly and Ludacris just rigged the fuck out of all this. No one's listening now. Roll out.
I know what you mean though. So like when you were in the ball shape, you were pretty fast, but then as soon as you wanted to transfer over, you're like, oh, okay, let me get this one out. Took forever for you to actually like fucking transform.
And then once you get set up, you can shoot like 3 times, and then you still don't even have the shield out. You're like, what the fuck is happening? That's the only way I lived, because I knew when Droidekas were attacking me, I'd just shoot them in the ball form, and I knew I had plenty of time to shoot them and blow them up before they got the ball, or before they got the shields.
So I think they made it pretty reasonable with how the powers work. Like a power puts you into ball form, so you can't just like transform and come out and transform and come out like every single time. Like you have to wait for it to recharge. And your shield's obviously a power up and everything. So we'll see. I haven't been paying too much attention. I just looked at the release notes and was like, here's a bunch of patch fixes, and then we have
Droidekas. Many episodes ago, we did kind of some background on the Droidekas, and it was cool that it's created by or manufactured by like an insect species that actually gets around by rolling. So they put that into their droids.
Yeah.
So it's cool that like the regular battle droids are just up walking around because they were manufactured by humans. But this one was created by, I forget the species, some insect species. But it's just like, remember. Oh, this makes so much sense. They would create something that they would be familiar with.
It's cool. Yeah, it was really cool. Yeah. So Droidekas, so they're really close to having a full game. They're really close.
2 years in the making.
They're really close. That said, last time I did play it, which was a month ago, it was a lot of fun. I just feel like I can't play it every single day of my life. Not that I game that much, but if you were a gamer, I feel like you couldn't play it every single day.
I game.
It would get really old. I'm a gamer too. But it's almost there. It's almost complete. I feel like gaming is in this weird time zone right now. I feel like the stuff that has played Battlefront has played a lot of other games in this very same period of time. Anthem did terrible. And I'm failing to come up with other examples, but I know there are, just because I haven't been following the game news that much. But I feel like it's just in this state, and developers are realizing that this whole releasing a half-finished game and microtransaction stuff is not going to fly. And they need to, because even Bethesda at E3 was talking about Fallout 76 and like, basically like, yeah, we fucked up. This game sucks. We spent the last 6 months fixing it. So we're going to release a thing that's going to be like basically like a reboot of the game.
Oh, okay.
So, but yeah, I think they're finally realizing that.
They need to do that. But it's like, I don't know when they're going to realize that a beautiful game can be terrible. Like it doesn't, you could have a poor looking game with a great storyline, and I'm completely down for that rather than a great looking game that has nothing. Like Battlefront 2. Like it's only fun because it's Star Wars. If this was any other game,
like Anthem,
I would not play it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I keep going back to Battlefield 5. That seems like my solid. I took many steps back. I usually was like 1 or 2 on multiplayer. Whoo! I'm like 10 right now. I fell hard. But they also introduced new maps. There's new guns, and I changed my shit up too. So it's just like take away. I'm like, and I'm not good right now. So I got to get back on the train there.
I'm gonna fire that up. I haven't played the Firestorm yet, but I want to.
It's just
is the Iwo Jima map out yet?
I
heard about an Iwo Jima map. I don't know if it's out or if it's coming out.
I played a new map. I jumped into a game that was already started.
Was it a Pacific Island?
It was on the coast somewhere. It was like a city, a small town on the coast, and the battle like happened up this hill where there were buildings along the way.
But
it was fucking intense.
Was it like Eastern Front or was it Pacific Front?
I don't know.
Did it look like it was the Pacific Islands and the Japanese and everything?
I don't know.
You just played it, you said.
I jumped in halfway through the match, and I just shot people, and that was it.
I'm just curious because that was one thing that bugged me was that it was only European stuff. I mean, the game came out.
It would have to be Pacific. There was no huge.
Well, I mean, you could have anything just on the coast, like a city on the coast.
Well, yeah, it would be different.
Well, I don't know. I mean, it would fire it up.
It would have to be Pacific just because of the fauna that was around. You don't have palm trees in France.
That's what I was going for.
I think it was more along those lines, but fun. It's still a crazy fun game. I highly recommend it. But that's the thing. Like I'm going back and playing Sega because there's nothing else out. And someone mentioned that not too long ago. I think in the patron chat
there's
about
some stuff out,
about like the amount of video games that came out were for Xbox, the original Xbox, and like PlayStation 2, and then you compare that to what's come out now. It's like a tenth that you get now, and like 50% of it's terrible.
Well, do you think it takes 10 times longer to make a game?
I mean,
as the technology gets better, like it's obviously
it just means more.
There's more detail. There's more everything.
It just means more. You got if you're gonna spend the time to make a game.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because
I honestly don't know. I don't follow it well enough to really say like this is happening.
Because like Fortnite has blown the fuck up, and that's not a great looking game, and it's actually quite simple. But it blew up because it was playable. It had this core that like kids love. Now, like when you get into ages like us, I don't think it really hit well with us. But it's something about it. Like you got to have something. It doesn't have to look great. It's the same map, isn't it?
Fortnite's annoying as fuck, but it stayed true to it. It knows what it is, and it didn't try to fake anything or fuck around with anything. It knows what Fortnite is.
Literally, it has dancing characters, and then you can like shoot people and build. .com, that's it, and be the best. Dude.
Also, you can jump into the fucking game and get into a match as soon as possible.
Yeah, that's
That's what I liked about Overwatch
right. And
too.
it works,
and the game works. Yeah, I think the most successful games. Not that I'm an expert critic for IGN, but I think it's the ones, and it's just like movies. It's the ones where they know what the game is going to be. They stay true to the vision. They make it. They keep enhancing it, and that's the best movies. Like when Lucasfilm hires JJ, and they're like, "We know what you want to do with this. Here you go. Let's make it happen." And they let him do his thing. I think that's when you get the best results out of anything creative like that.
The other one that I just purchased that is super discounted for the E3 stuff, which I think would end tonight.
Probably.
They had stuff up to 70% off. Was Resident Evil 7, which has one of the greatest ratings I've ever seen. Like the stars are all 5 of them are like completely blocked.
Would you say it's 5 stars?
No. Nothing, because nothing's 5 stars. One goon in there was like, it looks too good and it plays really well.
Didn't come out in the 90s.
But I've seen trailers for that thing. I think Tommy Boy said he couldn't play it. It was that scary.
I'm down to play something like that.
It's supposed to be one of those like think House of a Thousand Corpses, Resident Evil. Like, you go into this backwater and there's like crazy people in this basement, and you go through and everything's dark and you just hear sounds and you're just like, what the fuck is happening?
Dude, I would love to play that.
But it's, yeah, I saw some gruesome shit in it just in the trailer. I'm like,
I
oh.
remember playing Condemned with Butterclaw and Tommy Boy.
Could you imagine like going down into a basement and hearing, like, you're getting away from someone upstairs or outside, so you walk into this house and go downstairs and you just hear the sound, and then you turn a corner and it's like candlelit and there's just this dude like eating brains, and he looks up at you and you're like, wrong house, dude. I was just trying to find Jimmy. You know Jimmy? He lives down the street, man.
Dude, can you imagine?
Ah! Like rickety stairs, and you're like, what the fuck is that sound? And you just see this dude like,
Do you like the murder house across the street from our buddy's house?
yeah, dude.
Remember
Were you
going
there when
into
we
that?
walked in there? Yeah.
Basement
Supposedly,
was flooded. I was like,
supposedly there was a kid who killed his family across the street from a buddy of ours in like elementary school, and we broke into that house because no one had ever lived there. I don't remember anyone ever living there.
our buddy lived there when he was in elementary school. The guy that did the murders was not in elementary school. Some third graders, like
From a certain point of view, you never know.
could have been Jean Grey. You're
But
right.
he lived across the street.
Right. No, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so it was his like across the street neighbor.
I was specifying the kindergarten part or the.
We lived
elementary school
with the
part.
murderer. I got murdered, so he went into my old
He
house.
went on a 9-year-old rampage. He's fucking everybody up.
Battlefront 2 sucked, and then he just.
But one night we got a little wily and decided to go in and see what was up. It wasn't great.
It wasn't great. My socks got wet
I'm scared.
in the basement
Yeah.
of the Alamo.
I haven't watched anything scary in a minute. Chernobyl's kind of creepy, but it wasn't scary.
Halloween came out. It's available. The one that they made last year.
Oh,
The,
yeah.
The one that I was actually raving about. The Thrasher. The good,
Right.
good Thrasher remake. I might buy it. It's just solid. I didn't think it was fucking phenomenal, but it was just like it knows what it is.
Right.
There
That's what I mean.
was like
That's the best.
there was like a small little thing at the end. I'm like, of course, but the whole thing was I felt really good about.
Those are the best. I might fire up HBO and see if it's on there.
Just to finish my thought,
Do it.
Resident Evil 7 I think was down to like $10-15, and it's the most recent one. I think it came out like 2018.
Do it.
So if you want to jump on that for a huge discounted price, I would definitely jump. Oh, you know what I did? I bought it was $25, and I got all the add-ons and DLCs with it.
Oh, shit.
Let's do this. Let's click on one of the click the third one. I would say
The third what?
the video. Is that a trailer? No, that's the full gameplay.
Walkthrough. I don't want to watch anything.
Yeah, dude, it like 2 minutes in. Click the first one. We're doing it.
I don't want to watch
Live
it.
review. We're doing a live review.
Why do you do this to me, Mopar? I don't want to fucking do it. I don't want to fucking do it.
He doesn't want to get scared.
I had an experience actually.
We had a
which-
ghost in here. Turn up the fucking light. You're not worried about that?
I had a weird experience that I won't talk about on the show, but it fucked me up a little bit. I'm serious.
In the basement?
I'm serious. No, it was recent.
Did you have your sage on you?
I told Tommy Boy.
Are we turning this down?
Sorry.
Are the peeps live with us?
Sorry,
Are they
buddies.
able to watch it?
I should be able to.
It's just like run down old house. Look at that trailer. Moss covered trailer. Ugh. One of those grandfather Crocs.
Those Crocs are fucked.
It's just, ugh.
Well, who's playing this game? He sucks.
I know. Whoa. You think he's dead? Probably. He's gonna come flying out of here.
Daddy's coming. We need to go.
He gets back. Fuck up! Oh.
Shut up and listen if you want to stay alive.
Alive. Oh, look at that crazy basement torture area.
Ew.
Like every door. Oh!
Ew.
No! Close that door.
Ew, I hate bugs.
Oh my god, huge centipede. Dude, he's fucking wrecking stuff in between you.
Jesus.
Dude, that girl that peeked through. Uh-oh.
Ew.
Oh my god.
Now, I've seen everything. What the fuck? What is that?
Oh my god. There's always a little bit of like a sci-fi aspect to Resident Evil, which is so cool. Oh, I don't like crawly things, like big crawly things. Yeah, I'm hyped to play this game because
It's interesting that it's first person too.
Resident Evil 4 was like over the shoulder first person.
Right. That's third person.
Yeah.
Has seen more than you can imagine.
Fourth person.
It knows. The house knows.
Oh,
Ew. Dude,
wait, is it the same house as the first one?
there is no house in the. Well,
The very first one.
maybe, I don't know.
It all takes place in a house.
There's like some crazy chicks with some powers and shit. I would not go outside.
Ethan, don't lose it. It's important.
Like, there's so many weird aspects, like creepy kidnapping aspects, but also scientific, biological warfare aspects, death aspects. Ugh.
The hell? Yeah, I don't know like a lot about the storyline either. Of Resident Evil in general, like the whole franchise. Ew.
That's what I'm talking about. Dr. Satan.
That woman looked fucked up.
So hyped for this. Biohazard. I'm so hyped. Like I said, I think. Oh, Dr. Satan. Getting attacked by goddamn Beaver Dam over here.
Great.
I'm
This
so hyped.
is from January 2017. So it's already been out for 2 years.
Oh, okay.
So they probably have everything fixed.
No wonder it was 50% off with all the DLCs. So it was down to $25 for everything.
Nice.
I was like, you know what? I've been wanting to play this game. I played the fourth one. I think was from like PS2.
GameCube. Yeah.
Still was like, oh, like why that was bad and it looked terrible. But I was like, it's creepy, it's quiet, and there's certain times where it's just there's no music, and you just hear footsteps, and you're like, I'm just shooting everything. Fuck this. Like, I'm not ready for this.
That's what it was like playing Condemned, man. So creepy.
Kerner says Silent Hill was one of the scariest. He always heard.
Tommy Boy said the same thing. I never played Silent Hill though. I played Parasite Eve for PS1. That one was pretty creepy too. But I'm down for a fucking co-op game. I don't care what it is.
That's just co-op, I
I
think.
don't care if it's that or whatever. Avengers is another game that was announced at E3, and that's I think 5-player co-op, maybe 4-player co-op, storyline based online co-op.
Halo's co-op.
Yeah, that's true. I haven't played a Halo game in a long fucking time.
Halo 2. Well, actually, Halo 1 and 2 are co-op, and 3.
I think that really gets to the root of it. Is like, obviously, is the game have a good storyline? And is it fun and engaging? But can you play with your friends? Is it fun to play online? Whether it's like PvP or PvE. But at this point, like, I just want to play a good co-op game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Whatever. Whatever it might be.
I'm excited for that. Last but not least, final small thing.
What small thing?
Fallen Order
sucks.
had a little tidbit, and it said you're gonna have companions that you come across. One of them was it was a droid of some type.
A Wookiee?
A droid of some type. One of them was, quote, a fallen Jedi Knight. And I was like, huh? Is Ahsoka up in this bitch?
Probably.
I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna fucking love the game. If we come across Ahsoka and like do a quick mission with her and just you learn something from her and she drops some fucking knowledge.
Yeah, dude.
Oh,
What up, Rich?
Ahsoka.
Just raging about Fallen Order. Yeah, dude, that'd be crazy.
There was three. It was a snarky pilot, a droid of some type,
Han Solo.
and a fallen Jedi Knight, or a former Jedi Knight. That's what it said. And I was like, well, you got through Order 66 as the character you're playing as. So why would you say a former Jedi Knight even in this context? I was like, the only way you would say that is if they were a former before Order 66, which would make Ahsoka,
Oh, I see what you mean.
because she was. You wouldn't say Ahsoka lived through.
Like, even though the council's dead, you still wouldn't say former Jedi Knight.
Right.
You would just say a Jedi Knight.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. You go back and forth. I would say Caden was a former Jedi Knight.
Would you say Obi-Wan was a former Jedi Knight? I guess maybe, and depending on the conversation, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I love the fact that they said that there's going to be companions. I don't know how they're going to be integrated or how important they will be, or if you'll get to choose or
AI
whatever.
probably, but yeah.
But still,
It should be like that's the thing I'm most excited about. Excuse me. Even if I don't love this style of game, is I'm sure the story is going to be great and it's going to fill in a lot of shit that we've been missing. So, at the very least, I'm excited for that.
can you imagine coming across Darth Vader in Fallen Order?
I wouldn't like that. I mean, I'm sure if they brought him up, it'd be fucking sweet. But I'm just saying, like,
You'd have to just get away. You'd just have to survive. You couldn't kill each other, obviously.
he just always makes cameos and stuff. Like even in Rebels, like he was fucking awesome. His fight with Ahsoka, fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm.
But like, did it add that much to the story? Because
Yes.
Ahsoka was in there and then gone for most of the show.
That's the only reason I like that show.
So you just like those
Was that
3
battle.
episodes?
Yeah, Darth Maul and Vader. Those are my favorite ones.
Yeah, but I guess my point is like it's not about Vader, so like he doesn't really need to be there.
No, he doesn't. But if it adds to Carl or whatever his name is, Cal.
I don't know. I can't remember.
Cal's the main character, I think. Yeah, if it adds to Cal's, like if you defend Vader and then get away and save your companions, but also get away.
Look, I'm not saying I'm gonna hate it if he shows up. I'm just saying we don't need Vader to. They don't need Vader to make this storyline. Like I think we got to that point where we were, like Star Wars was leaning on the OT stuff so heavily, and it's been gradually going back and back, which is cool. It seems like we're in a really strong prequels era right now, which is awesome.
Then come across Maul. I don't give a fuck.
I'm just saying we don't need that. It doesn't need that bridge for it to be a good storyline.
It'd be
Little
nice.
cameos like Saw Gerrera and K2 is like that's plenty.
ATSTs.
Yeah, it's not a cameo.
Yes, it is. They're their own characters. I knew it. You heard it here second. Do you think Cal survives Fallen Order? No. He shouldn't.
No.
But what he should do is in your gameplay, he should make a difference in the ongoing story going forward. But he should not. I don't know how they would do that. I guess Battlefront 2 kind of did sort of a you die at the end, but it's still,
That was in the DLC.
yeah.
The one story DLC they had.
Where Kylo's just like, whoa, 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 and then he finds you and goes, I don't like you anymore.
No, that was the post game thing. Then there was a DLC mission that was like 4 hours or something.
Really?
Not even that long, maybe 2 hours.
Maybe 20 minutes.
Well, yeah, 4 hours would have been longer than the main campaign.
Pissed.
It sounds like it will probably tie into Rogue One more than anything else.
Well, that's a timeline. You're right there. Actually, that was a question I had. How close to, like, after episode 3 to Rogue One are we, or Solo, or where does this exist?
I don't know if it's been said yet.
I wonder if it's like Rebels time.
I'm very out of the loop on news though. I haven't been on Twitter lately, so I don't know. We could know. Could be there.
Okay, guys.
I'm just gonna try to catch up on some comics and some books. Alphabet Squadron is out. It came in the mail the other day. I had it pre-ordered. Looks pretty dope.
That's the other thing.
I'll show it to you.
If you guys are waiting for Master and Apprentice, the hardcover on Amazon was 50% off. It was down to like $12. So if you guys have been waiting for Master and Apprentice hardcover.
Yeah, I finished Queen Shadow and Dooku, and I need to.
You read those?
I read Queen Shadow. I listened to Dooku. Dooku's the audiobook only.
That's
and I
right.
want to get into Master Apprentice first before I get into Alphabet Squadron.
What was your thoughts on Dooku? It was just good?
I liked it. Yeah,
Okay.
cool. Good insights, good tidbits. Wasn't like game changing, but it was good.
Did it still feel like a young adult?
No, I think Queen Shadow definitely does.
Okay. I mean, I've already gotten into Dooku, but I kind of paused on that for a while. But
Yeah.
I'll try to get through that here. Try to, because I hate the Star Wars.
What I've actually been watching and listening to and reading is like just Middle Ages shit, history stuff, geology. Just I'm still fucking obsessed with that ancient civilization stuff.
Yeah, that's
Can't get away from it.
But
So mystical.
I'm doing some. Well, I'm reading about the whales, how they were.
I remember you bought the whale book. Yeah.
Land mammals. I'm still getting through that one, and then I'm still getting through before Christopher Columbus came over. There was a bunch of Norse people that came over and met the Indians, well, the Native Americans, for the first time, and it's about that story. It's a fictional story, but it's based on a lot of truths. That
sounds cool.
So I'm reading that. It's like the 1400s, 1300s,
all
where
that shit.
they're coming over and.
Have you ever read this before?
Mm-mm.
I think it's a pretty popular book.
By William Shatner.
Yeah, William Shatner's autobiography takes place in the Middle Ages. No, I heard. What's funny is Tommy Boy will recognize this, but my philosophy class in college, freshman year, we were talking about shit, and the professor brought this book up, and I never read it. And every once in a while, I'll think of it. I was like, man, what was that book he was talking about? Middle Ages and Rome and the crazy fucking the popes and everything.
A World Lit by Fire.
A world lit only by fire.
That's a crazy sentence.
And I keep thinking about it, and then I finally, as I was researching all this old history stuff, I was like, all right, I'm just gonna grab this paperback. It was cheap. Interesting though. It's talking about the Dark Ages and how we got out of it. So, good shit.
Good shit, Maroki. All right, guys. Burning River, 2 out of 3 was the beer review. Great Lakes. It's one of
Tasty.
It's always like it's always a solid brewery. They never made anything that was like, whoa, this is fucking great. But just if you want to go out and have a good beer, Great Lakes Brewery or Brewing was always a solid for us. Mopar,
cheers, everybody.
Mopar once again won. Guess the scene.
Yeah, you are the fucking reigning champ, huh?
I don't fuck around.
I think I've won twice in like 6 months. So
it's a good one. It's a fun game. It's always a fun game. If you guys have any ideas of other stupid, funny things that we can do every episode, like that, yell at us. Let us know because we're always looking for cool, fun games.
Also, write us. Let us know what you think. Just like to hear thoughts from people. The weird thing about podcasting is like there's no comments feed on the podcast app. It's not like YouTube. So we only hear from people if they decide to reach out and yell at us. So
yeah,
send us an email. Just go to our site, starwars.beer. Contact information and our social media and stuff is there. So just tweet us or
Rogue Squadron Podcast at Gmail.
Yeah.
We love drunken emails. That's actually how we got Isaac because he did he's like halfway through he's like I'm ordering a pizza because I'm fucking drunk, and then he was
a solid one.
He was like ranting about KOTOR and all that shit. It was a solid drunken email. So we appreciate any and all feedback. Last plug for the Patreon if you guys are fans of the show. Once again, the next 3 patrons that join at any tier level will get free Pilsner Urquell beer glasses.
Free.
We'll send them out. You get some stickers and a bunch of goodies.
Mail.
But if you've been kind of on the maybe train, maybe this is the time that at least you get some the maybe train. You've been on that before?
Oh, I just I've been on it a little bit, yeah, but I forgot about one thing that we didn't talk about yet.
Oh, I got a monthly pass for the maybe train.
Big thing that we didn't talk about yet. They announced dates for Celebration.
Okay, let's do that.
Just really quick, because
It's
obviously
August.
all we know is the dates.
It's August next year.
Yeah, so Celebration Anaheim. They announced dates last week. Tickets go on sale next week. It is taking place. Let me get the exact ones, but it's in August, and I think I'm happy that they are pushing it back.
Well, I'm trying to think what's after because that's gonna be closer to the next movie because there's nothing coming out next year. There's not a Star Wars film coming out next year.
Well, it'll be closer to this movie.
But pushing it forward.
Oh wait, sorry.
It'd be further away from episode 9.
Yeah, I'm all skewed with the times. So
they'd probably
oh shit, yeah, wow, I totally just fucked
because it's
my entire brain.
Every 2 years. So 19, we're getting 9, and then 21. So they're pushing it closer to the 21 release date, but we're still gonna have a year to wait.
No, 22 is the next movie.
19.
And then 22, 4 and 6.
So we're waiting 2 years?
3 years. We talked about
19,
that.
20, 21, 22. What the fuck, guys? Why are we even going to Anaheim then? What are they going to be talking about?
Well, it could be the worst or the best one.
Well, the other big thing is obviously we're going to be getting Mando later this year.
Cassian Andor, and there's a
Cassian
third
Andor.
one that they haven't specified yet.
They might be doing that.
We'll have plenty.
Hogan just said that. More Disney Plus shows that they're
plenty.
going to be doing that. But
So the specific dates are August 27th through 30th. They dropped the Monday this time. I think that was a fun test in Chicago, but I think half the people were gone already by Monday.
Monday starts up.
It's just tough.
Yeah.
What they should do is bring it back and start it Wednesday. Just do Wednesday through the weekend instead of adding a Monday. But yeah, so August 27th through 30th, 2020, Anaheim Convention Center, which is across the street from Disneyland. We are obviously working on assembling a group to go. Probably going to do an Airbnb like we did last time. Just have a fucking giant animal house. Hopefully with a pool and a hot tub this time since we're in Anaheim. So if you want to come party with us and hang out. Tickets go on sale June 21st at 9 Pacific. So
that's gonna be next weekend,
They
right?
literally announced it this week, and it'll be on sale next week. So stay frosty. I think
kinda
the
wish they-
VIP stuff will sell out right away. But
They must get a lot. They must need that money up front. Like, why would you need anything 16 months in advance? What the fuck is happening?
I go both ways on it being so early.
6 months. 6 months would be max. Like,
Yeah.
you got plenty of time to get shit done.
Well, I guess what I would say is like, yeah, announce it now, and then say tickets are on sale. Because think about how many Star Wars fans. I would say 50% of the people that went to Celebration, like, aren't on Twitter and aren't checking their news like every fucking day. So if they just casually check in, like, they might miss this. What
That's
if
what
they
I'm
get
saying.
sold out?
They're literally just like, next week shit's going on, and then you're like, wait, what the fuck just happened?
It's too quick, man. And that's what Kerner was pissed about in Chicago too. And I get it, but yeah, it's like it pops up. All right,
You gave us a
the
week
dates are
and a half.
announced. It's tomorrow. We're selling shit.
It's
So.
tough. It's tough to get on the train, but
But while you reach out to us to tell us your thoughts of the show, also say if you're going to be at Celebration, because if you want to come party with us, we'll link up. We're going to plan a bunch of shit like we did last time. So
and in the meantime, if you become a patron, we usually try to bunk up with we're trying to get a big
an animal house.
Airbnb where
said it.
everybody can come in and
I said it while you were doing your Yoda striptease.
just fucking freak out. Yeah,
All
so
right.
I'm hyped, but hyped with reservations because we're so far away from that. But thank you guys for tuning in, Rogues Watching Podcast.
Who are you pointing at? The open door.
Thank you, door.
Thank you.
It's one of the most trusty doors I've ever. Hogan Garrison.
You're gonna get a hat, bitch.
You get a hat because we randomly chose you as the monthly shit. So good day, Galaxy. Rogues Watching Podcast. I'm Mopar. Thank you guys for tuning in. This is no longer it. Fuck you, Anakin.
I don't think. Sorry, I don't think we said our names at the beginning, but I don't care.
We said it.
You see it. That was ridiculous. Oh man, thanks everybody for joining us. It's a fun episode. I can't believe I forgot about Celebration. I feel like that was the biggest Star Wars news in the past 7 days.
No one gives a fuck. Like I said,
Everybody.
16 months out. No one likes. Oh. It really is frustrating. And to your point, it does make it even more so. Like, hey, tomorrow comes on sale. Oh, you guys missed out. Because even if like the 10% that is online that catches it, they're just gonna buy. I don't know. Whatever. Are you gonna do the whole week again?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, it's minus a day, and they're still asking for the same price, right? So
It's $195, so it's $20 cheaper. Which $200 for 4 days is still like that's a fucking steal, man.
yeah, $50 a day. It's
The fucking Wizard World Comic Con is like $85 a day.
it is that's ridiculous.
But no, yeah, it should be fun.
We got to fly out there too. We should probably start looking at fucking flights.
Well, that's the problem is we can't really book anything because we don't know how many people we're gonna have.
Everybody's gonna have to book for themselves.
No, we're doing the Animal House again.
Animal House.
Yeah.
No, I meant for flights.
Oh well, that's
Everybody's
totally,
got to book
that's a
that.
different thing. But
I'll probably drive to Denver and then fly out from there.
the Airbnbs. I don't know why we're still live. I'm turning this off. Bye, everybody. Fuck